As I was walking up the mountain this evening, I was taking advantage to listen to some talks, and Father Luke Damasi, servants home of the mother, he was talking about the Eucharist and why he'll never become a Protestant because we have the Eucharist, because we have Christ in the Mass, in the Church. And I suppose as I was walking up, I was just reflecting on it. In Vatican II, we hear that the Council Fathers, they spoke about the Eucharist being the source, summit, and centre of our faith, which it is. It's the source, summit, and centre of our faith. It is our Lord Jesus Christ. It is the person we will be with it forever in eternity. And I suppose I'm just looking out here on the valley below, and I'm up at a summit. I'm up on the top of a mountain. I'm up in the Alps, and I'm looking down, and you can see this panorama, this beautiful scenery, and it brings you so close to God. And I was just walking up, and I was listening to Father Luke on the Eucharist. And sadly, in Ireland today, what we've done to the Eucharist, what we've done to the Mass, sadly, is remove that elevation, that beautifulness, that sacredness of the Eucharist. And many priests don't understand it or don't see this. But as a layman, I can see it, because sometimes you go to Mass and it's it comes in, the priest will come in, and it's a performance, and the Lord be with you, and welcome to this Mass and this Sunday, and I'm so glad to see you here, and blah blah blah. And it's like a performance. The priest is performing to the good morning everybody, good morning Father, and it's a performance. And I don't mean to be disrespectful to priests who do this at Mass, but the Mass isn't about performing to us, to me. I don't want a performance. I want Christ. I want you to lead us in prayer. Face our Lord in the tabernacle, face the cross, return ad orientem, offer the sacrifice of the Mass, so that I can adore our Lord in participation, so that I can worship our Lord. That's what the Mass, that's what the Eucharist is. That's participation. That's what we need in the Church. And we have failed so much to understand the true nature of the Eucharist in the Church today. We really have failed. That's my opinion. We are leaving most Catholics down in the valley. They'll never come up here. They never will take the effort to come up here to understand the heights of how beautiful the Eucharist is. We leave them down there. We wonder why people don't go to Mass anymore. They don't understand the Eucharist. They don't love the Eucharist. They don't understand the sacredness of the Eucharist. They don't adore it. It means very little to Catholics. In reality, the Mass and the Eucharist means very little. It's a semi-ritual. It's something it exists in society. Does it mean anything to me in my personal life? Absolutely not. I don't get anything out of it. Why would I go? Does heaven exist? But I don't know. I'm sure if it does it impact my life today? No, not really. That's what's happened in the Church today. And we wonder what's the next generation going to think of us? If it is our Lord in the Eucharist, would we not direct everything in the Mass towards our Lord? I don't need a Protestant performance at Mass. I don't need that. I'd be quite happy to go to a traditional Latin Mass if I can get it. That's where I'll go. It's frustrating. It's frustrating that in the Church today we leave Catholics down in the valley. We don't come up and let ourselves be transformed with Christ on the mountain. Come up to the Alps, as the metaphorical going up the mountain to pray. That making that effort to go up the mountain. If it was up to me, if what my body and my sensibilities and my likings were saying, I'd remain down in the hotel in the evening and have a beer and just relax and maybe go to the swimming pool. That That's just me. But then again, do I set a time aside to pray? Do I go up the mountain? Do I search out, say, look, this is time for our Lord, this is time for you, and I search you in prayer. So I hope people can reflect on this, think about this when it comes to the Eucharist. It's frustrating in a way to see the Eucharist eclipsed in the church, that we don't understand the sacredness of the Eucharist anymore. That people don't come to Mass to encounter Christ. We're coming for various reasons. We're coming maybe for a funeral, a baptism, or a wedding, if we come. And if we come every week, is it out of routine? Because, my children's generation, nobody of my son's generation goes to Mass. Nobody of my two daughters' generation, very few of my two daughters' generation went to Mass. It's as if we've discarded that in Irish society as something that we did before. It's not needed anymore. We don't need Christ. We don't need the Eucharist. And so we put Christ to one side. And, we are really in a crisis in the church when it comes to the Eucharist. When we see American bishops who can't even decide what you have to do as a Catholic to receive our Lord in the Eucharist. American bishops can't even decide what a Catholic has to do to receive the Eucharist. Can you fund abortion? Can you pay for abortion? Can you legislate for abortion? Can you, internationally support abortion and be a good Catholic and receive our Lord in the Eucharist? Can you? Well, according to American bishops, they don't know yet. They don't know. Catholics are looking around. What do I have to do? Remember that young man that went up to Christ. Lord, what do I need to do to be perfect? He said, leave all your possessions and come follow me. Christ was very direct what he was asking them to do. And Christ is very direct in the church. It's not about it's not about us. It's not about what we want. Following Christ is a path towards him. It's a path of transforming ourselves to be like him, to follow him. That's what we must do. And if we don't, where are we going? What path are we following? And that's where I think today in the church, we're stuck down in the valley. We're stuck down there. We're not able to come up and experience the heights of what the Eucharist is, because we do not have leaders that will lead us up here anymore. Our liturgy has become a bad Protestant service most of the time. Really, a bad Protestant service. That's what the Novus Ordo in most English-speaking countries seems to have become. And many priests get very angry when I say this, but please show me, where are we going with it? Where is the new evangelization? Where's the springtime of the church? Where are the churches full of youth or young families? Priests continue to marry couples who've been living in sin for years. And then they wonder why those same couples don't come back to Mass. Imagine. I laugh at this, but it's serious, guys. We have lost our direction in the church. We have lost our direction in the liturgy. We're not sure if we're a Catholic, if we're offering a Catholic liturgy or a semi-Protestant liturgy. What are we offering? For the 90% of the time during the last 2,000 years, East and West, Orthodox, Catholic, Copt, Maronite, all of these rites, all of them offered the liturgy ad orientem. We went up, like going up in Jerusalem to the temple to offer the sacrifice. We went up, a priest went and led us and offered that sacrifice as a sacred mystery, not as some, televangelist Protestant style stuff. And we've seen this during the lockdown. It's become even worse than it's become bad televangelism, because it hasn't evangelized, it hasn't grown the church. So I could go on and on and on about this, but I suppose listening to Father Luke talk about the Eucharist, why would I would never become Protestant, because as bad as things are in the church today, we have the Eucharist, we have our Lord. You know, if a priest is validly ordained, the Eucharist is there present. But we need to seriously think as a church, what are we doing with the Eucharist? What are we doing in our worship? Are we bad Protestants anymore? Are we just, you know, a beige flavour of Protestantism now? You know, because when Protestants wanted to emphasise that the Eucharist wasn't the real body and blood of Christ, what did the Protestants do 15 years ago? Make sure it was given on the hand, make sure people didn't kneel to our Lord in the Eucharist, de-sanctify the Eucharist. And that's what we have done as Catholics. That's exactly what we've done in the last 50 years. And now we wonder why people don't believe in the Eucharist. Look around the church. Look around the church. I hope this video opens priests' hearts and bishops' hearts to understand we need to reform. We need to return ad orientem. We need to return to what the Church Fathers wanted in Sacrosanctum Concilium in Second Vatican Council. If we're going to be faithful to that council, we need to revisit it. You know, we need to. The church needs to return ad orientem, return to adoring our Lord in the Eucharist, kneel to receive our Lord in the Eucharist, restore our altar rails, bring back reverence to our Lord in the Eucharist, direct. You know, it really is a reform ad orientem. It's orientating our church towards our Lord again, not towards us. You know, I don't need any more performances at Mass. I don't need any applause. I don't need to hear applauses at Mass. I don't need all. We are there at Mass to adore, and we need to elevate people again to the Eucharist. Elevate them, bring them up the mountain spiritually to encounter our Lord in the Eucharist, to be away from the noise in the valley, the traffic, the spiritual noise that's down there, and bring them up here to the beauty of what the Eucharist is. That's our mission as Catholics. So, you know, well done to Father Luke. There's not many priests in Ireland that are alive with that love for the Eucharist. You know, if you're going to offer the Mass, the Novus Ordo, offer it with reverence, with love. Say the black, do the red. We don't need a performance. Offer, you know, the sacrifice of the Mass with reverence and love. We don't need a performance from priests at Mass anymore. I don't need it. You know, we need to educate our kids, and as Catholics, we need to understand we are there to go to Mass to adore our Lord, not to be filled with emotion and stuff like that, and to make us feel like we've had a nice performance or something like that. We need to return to the reverence of the Eucharist. So anyway, greetings from Valtellina, near in northern Italy. It's a lovely evening, and you know, I just thought I'd share this thought, and hope it helps somebody, and hope it, you know, it's not about me or what I think really. It's just my own frustrations that, you know, we see. If the Eucharist has been such a powerful help in my life, the faith has been such a powerful help, I wish everyone could experience that. Why wouldn't we? You know, our Lord lifts us up out of our misery and our depression and whatever, and He gives us new life. Shouldn't everybody experience this? That's my thoughts anyway. And maybe you know, who am I? Just a poor sinner. But, you know, just let's abandon ourselves to that great mystery which is the Eucharist, and see what He could do in our lives. Take care. Good evening. Goodbye. I'm up here in the Alps. My last evening here in the Valtellina valley here on the border with Switzerland, northern Italy, near Lake Como. Very, very, very beautiful.